Let's get
All
it.
right, let's get it, y'all.
Let's get it.
Um,
You said
um,
actually record. Okay, yeah, my
yeah,
bad.
we recording.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
no. The reason I said that was because I was looking at the top left to see if it actually said recording.
Yeah, I thought you was gonna say something trifling. Okay.
Oh no.
Nah, nah. All right, making sure. Um, Community Coalition Show, y'all. New month. We here. K Wilson David
Hey,
2K, man.
shouts to
Um,
August.
yeah, yeah. In the midst of this thing,
Yeah.
it don't feel like August though. I know the DMV. It was kind of cool. I love. Oh,
Uh, it's
today was a
it's been hot.
for real. Nah, today was a gorgeous day.
Hmm.
It was like 80. Nice breeze. No bad weather.
I think
Good day.
yesterday was better.
Mighty, yeah. Both days. Both
Hmm.
days.
Yeah.
Today was a good day to move some stuff. That's what we did today.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Shouts to the Franciscan Center.
the Franciscan Center, men of stature. We got some good stuff going on that end.
Yeah. Shouts to Danny.
Yeah, unboxing change. Oh
Shouts
no,
to
I
our
mean
bingo crew.
bingo from Fresh with the Soul, Small to More Homes, Braid Hair. Anybody else I'm forgetting?
Her.
Big Sergio and them out there, man. What's up,
Hmm.
y'all? It's like shout
Shouts
out
to
to the
y'all.
fam and got a nice thing going. So I know once that's all said and done, that Attire for Hire program, the men's center, the barbershop that we're trying to put together
Hmm.
for men, y'all. That's what we're doing. Right in the heart of Baltimore City. So
Hmm.
um, we had to do some renovations. They're renovating the spot, so we had to get all the stuff out, all the suits out, and all that stuff.
Yep.
Storm, shout out to Pastor Mark and his church for allowing us to storm there.
Yep.
So we're gonna get right. So I'm excited for that. I am.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. But back to business. Okay.
Back to business.
So let's get to the nitty gritty. So I asked you a question last week, right?
Right.
Um, so before I get to what that question was, let me back up a little bit. So
Okay. Okay.
I, as a dad, am going through some stuff right now. All right.
Mm.
And this is going to sound like why is this a problem? But you be like, let me explain. Um, and I know a lot of people, and I've been talking to brothers and sisters too, who like, I don't know if anybody really thinks of this, but
Right.
so for me,
Hmm.
my childhood is a little different. You
Right.
know, I know everyone says, "Oh, my upbringing is rough" and stuff like that.
Came from the dirt.
I mean, I don't like to talk about it too much, but let's just say like
Right.
it wasn't the best environments.
Right. 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 Right.
Stuff I seen some stuff. Stuff was, you know,
Hmm.
for the average person, they might call it rough.
Hmm.
Um, so that's what I came up in.
Hmm.
So for me, I literally did scratch and call and grind.
Hmm.
Like I had help when my grandparents were alive, but when my grandfather passed away when I was like 18.
Mm.
Um,
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
yeah. So for me, there was no support.
Right.
There was no financial support backing and everything like that. We had to build this,
Hmm.
you know. Um, which is I've come at the point in my life now where I actually appreciate,
Absolutely.
and like I said, I've talked about seeking help and understanding some of these things and why and realizing that sometimes you gotta go through stuff. It makes you better. I learned a lot more because I had to figure it out.
Hmm.
Trial and error sometimes, but I had to figure it out,
Right.
which I feel like put me in a really good situation,
Okay.
you know. So I'm good with it. I really am,
Hmm.
you know. Um, but and this is
Let
going
me.
to sound
Yeah.
go ahead, go
I
ahead.
guess.
Yeah,
I, let me just say. I feel like I grew up in more of a. I don't want to say privileged, but like my parents were around. Yes, we struggled, but also we always figured it out. Like, and
yeah,
my parents, they especially my parents, they are very resourceful,
mm,
and we always had good people around us too.
yeah,
So, just like always, like I know for a fact that if my parents weren't around, that I had other friends that I could rally around to fill that void.
Okay.
That's kind of how I've always felt.
And I know you like not family,
I'm
a lot of
yeah,
family, you know.
I'm very like family oriented, like
Yeah,
especially with like even my friends, like whenever I go to their houses, like with certain people, especially like Dots, like I'm
yeah.
always
Shout out to my man Dots.
yeah,
Yeah,
shouts to Dots, shouts to our god brother Obina, like like when we were Obina and Kalechi, because anytime we were always like especially when we were younger, we were always around each other.
mm,
So because me and our godbrother Obina and Kalechi, like they lived maybe a few miles from where I used to live in Vallejo.
okay,
So I would see them every few days out of the week.
okay,
And then when I moved closer to San Francisco, I would see Dots all the time. And I would see him every like I would kind of see him like every like couple weeks
okay.
out of the month. So
Yeah. So you had folks.
I
You had a
did.
support system. There's people around, family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I didn't really do all that.
Mm.
And even for the folks that were there, the dynamic wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so like I got a lot of family in the area. I ain't know 'em. Even now,
Mm.
I'm still meeting some of them. Like my peoples grew up in this area. My dad is from this area.
Mm-hmm.
I got cousins all over the place. I'm starting to, I'm learning them now because I'm trying to make an effort now.
Right.
But so all that to say, wasn't like that. You know, even my wife, she kind of grew up like you, like family oriented, a lot of family around.
Mm-hmm.
Her peoples worked hard to get where they are,
Right.
like to make sure they was good and the kids was good and
Right.
doing all that, both parents and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like I'm different. I was opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm at a point in my life. I'm a dad.
Right.
I got 3 kids, 3 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I'm seeing is, and what I mean, it's a good thing. We put ourselves in a position where we can provide for our children.
Which is amazing because
Yeah,
not everybody has that right now.
everybody can do that, right? And I'm not saying we're not rich. We're not rich or anything. We just hardworking folks. We try and make it happen too, just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Um, so, but my kids don't want for anything right now. They don't.
I mean,
Like
we gotta remember, especially right now. How old are your kids?
yeah, I mean like what 7 and 9, 27, yeah, or 9,
Yeah.
something like yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean,
I wouldn't want to pay for anything either.
but I mean, my me at 7,
Mm-hmm.
me at 9 was different than them.
Right.
I'll say that. I was still in an environment where I saw some stuff. I'm saying I knew some stuff that
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have known as a kid.
Right.
Experienced some stuff that I shouldn't have known as a kid.
Right.
And so now I've been a believer that I want my kids to stay kids as long as they can.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You don't want them
so
to lose their innocence.
no,
Too. Right?
no, they still think that
Say it again.
they still think that dude is real, and all
Ah.
them cats and the tooth fairy.
Right.
He's giving out dollars like crazy. But so all that to say, like
You're wearing
that's
headphones, right?
yeah, but they
Okay.
like I'm in the I don't want to snitch on myself.
Yo, I really, bro, I can't wait till they grow up and they're always like, they're gonna be like, yo, Dad, didn't you have a podcast with Uncle David? And like,
Yeah,
I want them to like find this like once they get like 16, 17.
yeah. I hope it takes that long. Hope they don't go on Spotify account, go on YouTube and find. They already know we on YouTube. Fighting that as it
Oh,
is.
oh
So
man.
So like, but that's how they they live that life.
Yeah.
They live that life. I remember we figured out real quick. Mommy was trying to get the gifts for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Scratch and Claw. We knew what time it was.
Right.
So when you go through that, you develop certain viewpoints and things about life.
Right.
Like one example, Christmas. I was never a Christmas dude. I didn't really care for it because in my household growing up, I knew who Santa was.
Mm.
I knew from November to whenever mommy was busting her butt to make sure we had something.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that and I saw stress and all that stuff, right?
Right.
So when I grew up, I didn't want that. Like even now, it took me a long time to appreciate this stuff.
Mm-hmm. That actually makes me like not want to tell my kids about Santa.
Well, that's
Be-
what.
be- it's because like, nah, Santa ain't pay for this. I
Yeah,
pay for
but
this.
yeah, me
I-
beating your chest. No, but then the problem is right because this is where I was, but then I
right.
realized
That's part of the innocence.
it's the innocence
Mm.
because everything comes along with it.
Right.
That's that holiday season starts magical around this joint
Mm-hmm.
because they believe in that stuff.
Right.
I was the Grinch.
Mm.
And my wife saw it and it was his air. And like, so it really took a while to understand. So I had to tell her, like, yo, you don't understand. Like, I don't care for none of this, you know? Because I saw what it was as a kid and how that went down.
Right.
And I didn't want that to happen. So it was like, I don't need this if that's what it takes, if that's what causes mommy to stress out,
Yeah.
you know? And so now that I'm here
Mm-hmm.
and I've had to go through that, I've had to come out of that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
embracing a lot of this stuff now. I see now that my kids are some real suburban kids, yo. They some suburban ass kids.
They're growing up on the pavement, not the dirt.
What like the artificial turf and
Yo.
the golden sidewalks and all kinds of gumdrops and
Oh,
lollipops and all this.
so you
But
so you talk about they growing up in heaven, pretty much, with the golden
look,
sidewalks.
look, man, look. Compared to me, I look at this stuff now and I'm like, what? Like they doing stuff I would have never imagined for real.
Yeah.
And it's little stuff. Like I said, that innocence is still there. And I give my wife credit because that's something that she instilled and she wanted that to happen. And I understand and I'm on board. I'm like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. It took me a while, but I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
They get to enjoy being children
Right.
and not have a care in the world about when are we eating,
Mm-hmm.
where is it coming from, the concept of money. They,
Right.
they don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like oh that's not a big deal, but like
Mm-hmm.
no, I knew what money was.
Right.
I knew a lot of things. There's an old Beanie Siegel line. If y'all know who Beanie Siegel is, a rapper, and one of his songs, it's a very emotional song. Someone is dad, right? He says,
Mm-hmm.
for a long time, pretty much as a kid, I used to think money was white.
Mm.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
Relate.
And you know what?
I understood when he said that,
Yeah.
right? Not as an adult, as a kid, I understood that. Little
That's
things like that.
crazy.
So my kids don't have none of that. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
They get to do things. They travel. They know how to travel.
Mm-hmm.
At 6 or 7 years old, they good.
Right.
They've been places. Like, and I'm not bragging. So I say all this to say, I had a conversation with myself the other day
Mm-hmm.
because I was really nervous. So if this continues, are they going to be able to handle the harsh realities of life?
Mm,
Because my thought and concept is life is hard.
right.
Hard. You gotta be prepared. You gotta be ready for this.
Hmm.
But are they going? So I'm like, really? I was really in my feelings having a whole conversation with myself. Like, are we doing the right things
Right.
by letting them be kids? By not exposing things like if you had asked me a couple years, I had been having them taking credit courses and money management classes and learn, like
Mhm.
oh, like
Right.
so that's why. So I posed this question to you because I had really had this thought in my head, and the
Hmm.
whole question was: would you rather grow up rough, but in that upbringing you develop the tools and the skills to be able to navigate the world,
Hmm.
right? Or would you have rather grown up a little bit more privilege? I don't know. I don't use the word privilege, but like
Yeah, I know.
you
Uh,
like you have all the tools,
you
right?
have the tool, like with more of the
Yeah,
tools that you needed
the
to.
resources, and
Yeah.
but you didn't develop the kind of like the life skills to be able to navigate the world, right?
Right. Right.
So pose that question to you.
Okay.
What do you think?
Now, first, I want to say that I kind of want to go a little back to like what you were talking about your kids. And it made me think of something. You saw your parents struggle, and the way that they struggled, you didn't want that for your kids.
Yeah, I was obsessed with it. Yeah,
And see, it was that made you say, "Oh, nah, this ain't it for me. I gotta be better." And I think especially where you are now, I think you're better for it. And I think it would be important to teach your kids that mentality at least. Because while yes, you are in a good position. Yes, you are good, but I think it's important to let them know that not everybody is good.
yeah,
Because I feel like the way I grew up is it's not the total opposite of what you did, of how you grew up, but I feel like we were in I don't want to say well, I feel like you know what I will say? I will say it was a different time growing up
yeah, yeah,
because I was born 92, so during that time like in growing up seeing what I saw, I feel like I didn't see a lot of stuff,
mm,
but also I think it wasn't until maybe middle school to like going from middle school into high school I started to understand
yeah,
certain things.
yeah,
And from there I was like, "Oh yeah, I could do this. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do this." And especially now that like because when I was in college, I went broke a bunch of times.
yeah,
And I had to teach myself, I'm still teaching myself, like, hey, you can't spend all the money that you have in a month. And it's hard to not do that
yeah, yeah,
because you have to remember there are bills, there are, you have other people around you that might need money, and you got to have some money for emergencies.
yeah,
And so I think it's now at the time to where I'm starting to I understand like what I need to do, and I understand what I shouldn't do to like be more successful. And I'm not saying that I haven't figured it out. I'm just saying that because I'm not saying I haven't figured it out because I definitely don't, but what I'm saying is I'm starting to understand how to figure it out.
Yeah, and that makes sense because
Yeah.
I'm a little bit, like I said, that point in life, right?
Hmm.
So, a couple things about what you said, and this is what I thought about. Is I'm thinking about even as you were saying it, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm good. I came out of that situation.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people in the same situation in my neighborhood and stuff that did,
Hmm.
and so that's part of it. Like, and I feel that I know that, like, yeah, but it's real easy to not come out of it.
Hmm. Okay. I see
And
what you're
then
saying.
yeah, so and then two, like, so then on the flip side of that, so I got my girls, right? So I'm like, how
Hmm.
how can I teach them some of these skills and things like that?
Hmm.
You know, and I think there's some ways to do it. You got to expose them to some of the world. Like,
Right.
we got to go see some stuff. Like, you might
Yeah.
have to ride down Southeast DC or downtown Baltimore or something like that, and go see. But I know sometimes it's like learning from afar is just not, you're not doing it.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't like, yeah, some things we could teach.
Right.
I'll try. I'm gonna try. Even now, like sometimes it's another thing. It's hard
Right.
to watch them struggle, even in the small aspects.
Hmm.
So it's like I totally understand why parents do this. I'm doing it. Like, you
Hmm.
work hard so your kids don't have to.
Right.
Like, I see. I completely get it. I completely get it.
Hmm.
You know. Um. So it's a tough question because, like,
Right.
there are some things I do want them to have. There's some skills I wish I could give them from me.
Yeah.
But then as parents, we can be living examples. They can see some of the stuff. We can teach them some stuff, but ultimately their lives are going to be their own.
Right. They're gonna do what they want.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm like, I would love to hear other people's perspectives. So I'm going to share. I
Yeah.
want to share this question. And I'm pretty sure most people are going to be like, of course, I want the resource. Nobody wants to have a
Right.
rough upbringing.
Right.
You know, nobody. Trust me. But I tell y'all,
Hmm.
there's so many things about life I appreciate from it.
Hmm.
I do, and I do think it's a big part of where I am today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a grinder,
Yeah.
I'm a worker. Like, but also I'm not a stressor.
Ooh, I think that's where I struggle because I stress. Like, especially like maybe my junior year of high school. I struggled a lot, but also I think it was the biggest thing for. So my junior year, I used to stress out about. I was literally stressing out about everything,
Mm.
and my homie, shouts to Charlie, because if he didn't say what he said to me, I don't know where I would be right now. Because he took me aside at lunch one time and he was like, "Yo, you got to stop stressing out. You got to relax because you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Like, you could die tomorrow." And that really, like, that talk I had with him and with all of our other friends at that time, like, that really hit me. And I stopped and I was like, wow, I really need to, I need to stop, I need to stop stressing about school. And I just need to focus on, don't focus on the, don't nitpick about every little thing
yeah,
and let it flow. Because there are things you can change and there are things you can't.
yeah. You can only control what
And
you can.
yeah, and that was where like my mind kind of had a shift, and I started to become a little bit more relaxed, and I started to enjoy life a little more.
Okay. Makes sense.
And I'm extremely grateful. And shouts to Charlie.
Yeah. Shout out to Charlie. Good talk. Yeah.
Bro, I was literally like 16, 17.
And I know the stresses of teenage life. I mean, I'm not
Bro,
even trying to joke. Like, what they do school, what they do for you, like life, and
right.
you're supposed to know everything. You're supposed to have your whole life planned out by the time you graduate and all this stuff. Man, that's why I don't stress, because one thing my upbringing taught me was it ain't that serious.
Right.
Like when you see wild stuff and you see a lot of bad stuff, at the end of the day, it's like, what you gonna do to me that ain't already been done?
Right. What are
Like,
you gonna say to me that hasn't? That's
what you gonna
worse
do?
than like what my friends say, because me and my friends we
Yeah,
clown each other all the time.
but that's what I'm saying. But not even that. I'm talking about real stuff like money.
Mm, okay.
Like, I don't stress over bills. What you gonna do? I've told that to bill collectors. I was like, what you gonna do? Cut my lights off? I've been there before.
Mm,
Ain't that bad. I made it work. What you gonna do? Cut the heat? We've been there. You know, I found a way to get warm water.
mm-hmm.
Like, it made me resourceful. So I'm like, end of the day,
Right.
what you gonna do?
Right.
I'm broke. We've been broke.
Mm-hmm.
What? So threats and all that stuff, like I view life differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff happens, like leaving little stuff like I remember when I was younger, first I lost my job, I got fired
Mm-hmm.
off some bull. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
I remember talking about that.
oh my God, what we gonna do? Blah blah. It'll be all right. It's gonna be okay.
Right. We're gonna
You
figure
know,
it
like
out.
we're gonna figure it out. And I have confidence in that because a lot of these situations I've been in before.
Right.
And so it's like, what's the worst at this point? Especially when those things come around.
Mm-hmm.
Money comes and goes.
Right.
Like, you figure it out, you survive, you know?
Right.
So when it comes to a lot of those things, that's not my stress.
Right.
That's not my stress at all. Like things people stress about, which I'm prepared for it.
Right.
And that's where some of the things I've learned to appreciate
Mm-hmm.
about, like I said, those skills, those life experiences.
Right.
Ain't too much that you could swing my way that I'm like, oh really? Broke. All right. We figure that out.
We'll
I'm not,
figure it out.
I've seen the worst and I'm still here, ain't dead.
Yeah, that's
Ain't, you know?
bro, that right there. I like, especially when I was in college, I was stressing out so much, especially that last year, because I I was my mind wasn't there, to be completely honest. Like I was I was honestly just doing what I could to get by. And like when and also I don't want to say I was distracted. My mind wasn't in school.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And like once I actually shifted my focus, I was like, "Oh, okay. I can get this. I can get by on this." You see, that's me right there. Like I'm trying to get by. But also I'm trying to get by in a way where not only am I getting by, I'm actually learning something so that I can use it for the future.
Yeah. And that goes with growth. Because once you get the get
Yeah.
by part,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, once you figure that part out, like, oh, it ain't that serious. Okay,
That's it. It's not that serious.
not that serious. Got it. And then I can move forward.
Mm-hmm. You could be
You know?
dead in a ditch right now.
Yeah. Other than that,
You good.
somebody, what you gonna say? Somebody can't say nothing to me at this point that's gonna move me in
Right.
a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe threatening the kids, maybe threatening the family. You know,
Oh no, it's on site. What's up?
it's on site, but I got ways to deal with that too.
Yeah.
I got ways to that. Like I might not
Right.
have to.
Go go. No,
I might not have to move, but something's gonna move. If you know what I mean.
Hey man, allegedly.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Gotta
I'm saying allegedly because
gotta
I
gotta
know exactly what you're talking about. But
gotta prove it. So
but
but that's what I'm saying. All that. So like the things other people stress about, like, you know what, we used to go through this. Like, remember she said one thing I remember years ago.
mm,
We shared. Some more money. She, again,
mm,
her upbringing was different, but it was like she's like, I like to see money in the account.
mm,
So when the money, when money starts getting low, she starts to get nervous because like it.
right.
But my whole thing was, one, what the money gets spent on? Bills. That's what it's there for.
That's
Two,
that's one thing. That's one thing.
two, like account. I lived on cash for so long.
Mm.
Like,
Why am I holding on to this
I used to
for?
live on cash. Yo. You talking about account? I used to live on cash, man. We was ducking and dodging people. Like, I could tell you crazy stories, man. I used to someone robbing Peter to pay Paul. I would jack Peter
Yo,
and jack Paul too, and then figure
mm,
it out later. Like, that's how we lived. So all that stuff was
you did what you
like
had to get by.
yeah. So like now, even in times now where it's like pandemic stuff, like, all right, like it almost occurred to me. I was like, yo, like this is last year, like
Hmm.
everybody pandemic, we all stressing, everybody world, oh my gosh, we're inside. I'm like, yo, we have an inside.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah,
I
bro.
mean,
When I tell you that growing up in the Bay Area, the homeless population is enormous.
yeah, and if you go right around here in the DMV Baltimore, it's yeah,
You see
major
that
city, yeah,
too.
you see it. So it's like, y'all worry about what? My whole attitude was, you know what? I get to learn about my home and then start to figure things out here and then
Hmm.
enjoy it here
Right.
because this is where we are. We're supposed to be here, right?
Right.
Like, cool.
Hmm.
I started thinking about other stuff like, oh, I ain't gotta put no mileage on my car. I ain't gotta do all this. I ain't gotta pay no money in gas. I'm about to save some money. Like, I go to survivor mode, like, oh, I ain't gotta spend money on bill. What? We hit, okay, bet. Like,
Yeah. I
bet,
feel like,
okay.
bro. I feel like that survivor mode is. I feel like it's handy at certain times
Yeah,
because it's
man.
like think about you and your wife. You're like, oh man, we don't have toothpaste. What? You cut the thing open. It's
Man,
like
I rolled a mess all day. I squeezed
right,
that joint, man.
right.
Everybody thinking,
Because
like, I got 2 or 3 more days out of this. Like,
right,
oh,
because you know how to survive on on a struggle budget.
yeah, food is another thing.
Yeah.
Like, we
Oh,
will go.
bro.
I do the grocery shopping. I don't need expensive food.
Right.
Like, I don't. I lived on the little stuff.
Yeah.
Some
So,
people walk like, I ain't got nothing to eat. You got some bread. You can do anything with bread.
yeah.
Do, like, little things,
Hmm.
but you learn that. So like, okay, got this. You got this. And then the whole
Right.
mentality, everything else changes.
Hmm.
Because if I don't have to stress about that stuff, and I realize, the
Right.
the blessings,
Hmm.
and what's going on here, like, it eases your mind.
Yeah.
So, and also, that you have the skills to deal with it too. That was another thing. Like,
Hmm.
I'm confident in my skills to handle these situations.
Right.
I'm confident in the skills, which gives me poise and gives me composure
Hmm.
and gives me a clear mind to handle stuff if I have to,
Right.
So, no stress,
Yeah.
no stress. Um, but those are skills.
Yeah. Like
You know, that,
you really have to I think it's important to take a step back, assess your situation, especially with a clear mind, and
you have to.
just take you really just need that breath to all right, what are my options to deal with this problem?
Yeah. If you do think that's emotion kills, yo.
Right.
Emotion kills. Do things based on emotion. I saw that again this week in business. I'll tell you right now, emotions
Hmm.
mess you up.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that because you can't be emotional, y'all. I'm saying because if you make decisions out of haste and out of emotion,
Mm-hmm.
You're not thinking clearly. That's
Right.
what I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to like business and stuff like that, like
Mm-hmm.
the more you can take the emotion out of these decisions,
Right.
clearer you're going to be. So yeah, so that's why then I go back for. That's what I say I go back and forth. So like, oh, I don't know. Hopefully, again, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I know somebody. If y'all watching and listening, this whole thing is not bad. None of this is
Yeah.
bad stuff.
Right.
This is me being so nitpicky at this point. Like, and I got things to think about, but this came to my mind.
Right.
But
But see, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, because in my mind, like, yeah, I'm definitely sure. Maybe I'm stressing about like 3 or 4 things right now in my head, but also in the moment right now, I'm good.
yeah,
I'm at peace because you got to take that step back and be like, okay, I understand that I can't do this right now,
things will get
but
done.
things will get done.
Things will get done, and it'll be all good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, but and even as I sit here, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Girls gonna be okay too.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm going back and forth, I would much rather them be kids.
Mm.
I would. So at the end of all of this, as much as I would love some of those skills to translate, you never know. They might. They might.
Yeah.
They might. You never know. But yeah, I do. So I threw out this hypothetical, but I'm just going to tell you what I think.
Right.
Because sometimes for someone who doesn't feel like I had much of a childhood, and I did, but they're doing stuff that I wish I could have.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like as a parent, that's part of the job.
Yeah, and
Like
that's what. Yeah,
you put your kids on.
yeah, and that's what I want, and that's what
Mm.
I wanted, and that's what feels good.
Right.
It feels good. So yeah. So
Man.
love to hear
That's
your thoughts. Yeah, yeah,
love that. No, I loved that because especially man. You know what I actually think about a lot with that? My parents came to a whole new country and started all over
yeah.
at my age.
Mm,
And I'm like, if I was to get my parents were married by my age. So if I was to get married to somebody and we were to go to a whole new country and we were to just, it's like, hey, this is our life now. We're here. Now you got to figure that out.
yeah,
My parents figured that out.
yeah,
What? Like the majority of our parents figured that out.
yeah,
And one thing we need to do is we need to ask them, yo, you came to a whole new country where you knew maybe 1 or 2 people.
yeah. Think about a lot of the immigrants that came here. Yeah,
Yeah. How did you do that?
they busted it.
Yeah.
They busted. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so out of all this, and they did that because they wanted their kids, they wanted their families to be better.
Hmm. They wanted us to grow up better than they did.
Yeah.
Just like how you want your girls to have a better childhood than you did.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I want them to have the skills, but I don't want them to have some of those experiences.
Right.
God, no. No. I don't want nobody to live with stuff sometimes I have to live with.
Mm.
No. No. That's why I say I wish there was a way they could get some of these skills.
Right.
It's like if I was a computer, download some of the files. Don't transfer them all over. Like, if I could pick the files,
Yeah.
like,
Let's put this hard work in there without the
yeah,
childhood trauma.
yes, exactly. Yeah. Decision problem solving skills.
Mm-hmm.
But all
Without the
those
problems.
without the problems. Yeah. Exactly. I could do that. I know, and
Mm,
every parent saying the same thing. Like, of
right.
course. But, yeah.
But but also in my life, I know I've made a billion mistakes. But also I know that a, I've learned from the majority of them, and I'm better for it.
Yeah. And that's part of, yeah, we have to, as human beings, we have to go through some of this stuff.
Right.
Like, if life was perfect, I think most of us would die of boredom.
Right.
So yeah.
We
So
would literally be the snowflakes that they talk about on the news.
yeah. Or robots.
Or robots. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So we all, we just be doing the same stuff, going through the same way. Yeah. With F.
Right.
So all right.
And we've
Oh
seen in movies how that goes. So
yeah. All right. Let's move off of that.
right.
I know we got some Bobs and Karens. I saw some of the ones you sent me.
Yeah.
So what's good there? What we got?
All right. Uh let's talk about okay, we're gonna start with the fight on Frontier Airlines. Right.
Who's fighting the frontier, son?
Okay. Okay.
What happened, yo?
Here's the thing about that. So in the caption, it was said that it was over a seat reclining, and I think about it in this sense: you don't go to Waffle House if you can't fight. So I think about that in the same sense, like you don't get on Frontier, Spirit,
Spirit,
or
another one.
yeah, I can't think of any other.
Maybe Southwest, maybe depending on where you're going.
Southwest is
Right.
pretty solid.
I know they solid, but depending on where you're going.
Yeah,
Don't be
yeah.
on that Miami flight during a certain time of year,
Ooh,
Like,
ooh. Oh, with all the IG honeys.
yeah, and then the dudes that think they got them, yeah. It's a lot of testosterone, it's a lot of emotion.
And the dudes that think they got
Think they got them. They paying for that trip, but
him.
they don't they don't understand.
No,
Man, that ain't true.
you remember the song? Why are so many girls going to Tulum? Who
Mm-hmm.
bought you that room? Cause I know it wasn't you.
But them dudes be mad emotional though, because they think they don't realize that, fam, she's been 3 times this year already. You're only taking it once. But okay, so I digress. IG filled with pictures from the load. Fam,
Man,
you didn't understand? You thought you was the only one? But all right,
you know,
wait, go ahead. So what
guess what? None of those dudes are in the picture.
exactly. So you think you gonna stay? Dog, you are number 4, and that is it.
Right.
Number five,
Oh, number
number
4.
five is already texting.
the second the second one thing is out of place.
Man, the second your PPP loan come up short, number 5 is in play. He's coming off the bench. So yeah,
He's the sixth man of the year.
6 man, the 6 man a year. Yeah, and remember, for all the 6 men out there, even Lou Wills get traded. Even Lou Will has gotten traded before.
Man.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey man. Wait,
So
huh? Does Lou Williams have a championship?
maybe, but
Because I'm pretty sure he's been with the winning team.
yeah, but everybody gets traded, right? So I'm just saying,
Yeah, sure.
even though you think you're the dude, your rights can get traded too, dog.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be in Tulum in 2 more months, and it ain't gonna be with you.
Who said the first times were?
They weren't. They weren't. So whatever. Okay. Frontier. What happened on Frontier, son? Because
Okay.
yeah,
Oh yeah, it was a fight over someone reclining their
a reclining
seats.
seat. First of all, seats don't like the seats don't even recline that far on
Right.
commercial flights.
Right.
Just
I
recline your seat and chill out.
I, I can't. I'm mostly a Southwest flyer, so like I honestly try to get the back of the plane, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big dude, and still I'm not tripping.
right,
I'm not tripping when somebody reclines their seat.
right.
I'm a big dude. I take up a lot of space, and I'm not tripping.
Hmm.
So who won the fight? Did it say
Uh,
who got
I,
mashed out?
I
Did
mean,
Karen get mashed out?
I feel like they all lost
Okay.
because they all finna get arrested once they
So
so they hop off the flight.
all that over recline seat
Hmm.
on an airplane that reclines seats.
Yeah.
It happens.
You know what? This is gonna ruin flying for everybody because watch them take out the reclined seats.
You gotta sit stiff the whole time. Fam, now
Yeah.
I'm good. Now they're not gonna take out the recline seats. They just you can't. You gotta have something. They don't even recline enough.
Nah.
Something.
I say take them out. I'm gonna sit on
No, take them
I'm
out
gonna
because
just
Karen got her head bopped because she probably complained. No, just don't complain. Or
nah,
cough up that extra bread and go sit first class.
nah. Karen gonna get this. I'm gonna get Karen's shoulder, and she ain't gonna say nothing because I'm gonna wear my do rag on the flight, my shades, chill out. Order me a Jack and Coke.
It is the kickback, yeah. Oh, okay. This wow.
All right.
What
Uh,
else?
Speaking of planes, this is one that I saw literally less than an hour ago. So Bob and Karen are about to pretty much miss their flight. And guess what Karen does?
What does she do?
She gets on the intercom.
Okay, what she say?
I
It's gonna be
so
good.
this is to these are two passengers that need to get on this flight. We need to get on this flight. We're at gate like 311 or something like that. Please let us on the flight.
How'd she get the intercom? How did she who
That was another question that I had. Like whoever left the intercom on or whoever wasn't manning the booth at the time.
yeah, you get written up, dog.
Yeah, they need to.
But all that,
That was kind of it was pretty funny. I'm sorry.
but there's the privilege in that. Like who yeah, like that. First of all, why do you think that was gonna work? I think that was gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Because we all know the rules to flights. Once the door is closed,
They're not slowing up their timetable for you.
right. They finna be out.
Yeah, like planes have schedules,
Yeah.
and they gotta keep hold of that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Most commercial flights, they don't fly one time in a day. It's several flights. They got to keep a timetable going.
Right. Because this plane is going somewhere else.
And your
And
ticket's
then
already been paid for. You
Man, it
pay for that,
was
son. So like they'll work it out later because you already paid for it.
yeah.
But you're not getting on that flight, dog. Yeah. So that's yeah. But privilege. They think they can do what they want. Think it's gonna work. They be trying stuff.
Yep. All right. Last but not least, this is kind of a sad one. Uh the Fort Worth police department raided an elderly couple's home. This black elderly couple. They raided the home because there was suspicion of like that they were cooking meth, and like they zip tied them, and they made them sit outside until they searched the whole home. And it wasn't good for the husband because the husband has high blood pressure. So it was fluctuating during the raid and he was not good. And the wife was trying to ask the police to like get him his medication. And 2 weeks later, he died.
so many things wrong.
Right.
Like, do I have to state the obvious?
First
First
of
of
all,
all,
it was an illegal raid. Like,
that's what
and
I'm saying. Like, if you're
wrong house. Like,
who, like, who did the intel? Who did the intel? Like, or did you care to do the intel? First of all, like, if you're doing a raid, whatever, warrant,
no,
whatever.
they had a no knock warrant.
So you don't know what elderly couple lives there. You ain't had nobody scope the joint before.
Right. What are sick? I feel there's so many precautions that could have been done to avoid this.
Or how about when you finally get there and you see my man is old?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not the spot. They don't care. They don't care.
Right. And no, like you see that they're old. No one radios in and says, "Hey, yo, is this the right spot?"
Bunch of brainless, mindless brutes.
Right.
Like I said, a bunch of mindless soldiers who don't care about nothing.
Right.
Care about nothing. Like you accomplish nothing. You don't have a case.
Mm-hmm.
You lost money. You don't. They don't care. They don't give a fuck about all that. This bunch of
Right.
mindless. This all they care about is enforcing violence
Mm-hmm.
in one way, shape, or form.
Right.
How
Yeah.
about whatever happened to be effective at your job?
What happened to being good at your
So I'm
job?
saying, what happened to like, yeah. Tell you what, I gotta be good at my job though.
Yeah.
If I'm not good at my job, I don't get paid. I'm finished.
Right.
Well, most black, you don't good at your job, you get fired.
Right.
How many jobs have such a low success rate, and you can be okay with that? How
Right.
many jobs, if you burn the company money, you just keep going?
Right.
I don't know. These
Those
dudes
are
suck.
those are
Like
scams.
that's what. Yeah, either gambling the house money
Right.
until one hit. Like yeah,
And
they don't
everybody.
care. They'll kill people. They'll just continue to kill people. It's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Special place
And
for that, y'all.
yeah. And we want to say rest in peace to Corinne Gaines. This is today's the actually the anniversary of her death.
Mm,
Uh, she was stopped by Baltimore, or I think it was that Baltimore PD. Uh, what was it? They raided her. They tried to get her out of her home, and
yeah,
they rushed her, and she had a shotgun, but she wasn't able to use it.
yeah.
And not only was she shot, her son was also shot.
Yeah.
How?
I mean, again, these situations. Yeah, we know what it is. We know what it is.
Yeah,
So
you know, but you know what? That actually it makes me. It does make me not in favor of no knock warrants. That's one thing because we've seen too many that go the wrong way.
too many straight up, just flat out mistakes.
Right.
Wrong house, wrong person, wrong, wrong, wrong,
And
and nobody's
how
accountable for it.
I don't understand like if you're if you're taking this precaution, why aren't you making sure that this is the actual person that we need to get?
You
Oh,
don't
this
care.
is the actual house that we need to go to.
That's the thing. How hard is it? Like, how hard is it to like figure out who the right person is?
Right.
Hey, let me watch this house for a couple of minutes and see who comes out, see who goes in.
Right.
Like, like that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just no effort. Like I said, you're not effective. There's no care to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
So then that tells me if you don't care about doing a good job, you don't care. So if you don't care, why are you doing this? Oh, you're doing this to hurt people.
Right.
You're doing this to hurt people. Because if you don't care about nothing else and this keeps happening, that must tell me you like hurting people.
Right.
So this is the stuff we know. That's the conclusion I go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no private police program. There's no consequence to it either.
Right.
No consequence. It's not like you get fired and stuff like that. Not like they get in trouble. They don't. Keep
Nah,
going.
they get paid vacation.
Yeah. They don't even get that sometimes. If people didn't report this stuff, they would never expose it.
Right.
They would never expose it on their own. You would never hear about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really happened before the internet age and the ability of people to record and
Right.
get evidence on stuff. So I said, could you imagine how often this stuff probably happened before all this?
Right.
And nobody had any way to defend themselves in this type of way?
Yeah. I had a conversation with a homie from high school, and it was over one of my posts, and I think the thing that like really stuck out to me was that we were able to have a conversation about it. He didn't just shut me down and say, nah, this is wrong. You're wrong. Everything you think is stupid. No, we had a conversation about it. And I asked him questions. He asked me questions. And I think what we got to was that, or one thing that I was said was that the police and the Black community there needs to be a there needs to be a conversation. But I also said that I think at this point right now, it might be a little too far gone because of everything that we see on a daily basis.
Well, yeah, I'm never going to say I don't think it's too far gone. I think if it's here's how I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's my job to work with you, David.
Mm-hmm.
My job to make sure everything is straight with you.
Right.
But before I do all that, I have to know who you are.
Right.
I have to understand you. I can't help you if I don't understand what's going on with you. I don't know your situation, I don't know your background, none of that stuff.
Right.
If I don't know you, I'm not really helping you. I'm going on what I know.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different things.
Right.
We have a whole group of police and all these people making decisions for Black people who have no idea who we are.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't taken the time to get to know who we are.
Right. That don't want to get to know
That's the
who we
thing.
are.
That's the thing. They were damn about that. There are differences
Right.
in our communities than there are in other communities. If we take the time to understand some of them, to learn some of them,
Mm-hmm.
why help out? But because they don't give a damn, you've had a lot of time to try that.
Right.
And in some places they try and it works better.
Right.
Seen it. I got some homies who they know and they take the time
Mm-hmm.
and it works. But you don't. It's just like if you're not from that community, you're not from the area, you don't know the dynamics, you don't know the people, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only do you not know, the leadership don't know, and they're the ones really making decisions on how things are done.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got the leadership telling police what to do, police going to do what the leadership says. If the leadership is disconnected, cycle continues.
Right. That's it.
I got a lot. There's so much I could say about this too.
Yeah.
How was the mafia forming this family? I mean, this country.
Say it again.
The mafia. Why were they formed in this country? They policed themselves.
I feel like they got in early and they were able to.
They policed themselves.
Right.
group of communities that pretty much handle their own.
Mm-hmm. And if one person steps out of line, everybody checks that one person.
People police themselves. A lot of other communities. I don't know. This is one of the radical thoughts I'll probably get killed for. But
Maybe.
if we had a hand, I kick. It's not even just so much the policing, but
Mm-hmm.
if we were able to come together and handle a lot of our own situations of business,
Right.
we could probably nip a lot of this stuff in the bud.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I got. Oh yeah, I'm gonna write that down. I got conversation for other days.
Mm.
So on that note, yeah, I
Yeah.
did see that last Karen though. You sent me a video.
Yeah.
She was outside the store. Homegirls outside the store, popping off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the cops are lying. There's two cops. Someone they lying on me, and I have the right to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
They paid to snatched her up though.
Mm-hmm.
Snatched her up. They give Karen so much leeway.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, it's hard to watch though. She on her phone talking to someone else.
Right.
She popping off at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Then look, and then this is what annoyed me. I have a right to be here, she says. I am a Christian woman. So they using religion and all this stuff to hide behind religion. You know, she threw the race card in there too. She said,
Mm-hmm.
I am a white Christian woman. Like that's supposed to mean something. But she thought it did. She thought it did. According to white people, God is racist.
I was about to say, well, Jesus said Cassie's in.
Yeah, God, they throw that in there like, yeah. So wild stuff, y'all. All right, I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done, man. Check us out, communitycoalitionshow.com, and
Yeah. Oh, sponsored by the Black Squirrel Media Network.
Black Squirrel Media Network. Come to
Come to
Black
Black
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Yep, check us out, blacksquirrelmedia.com,
Yeah.
Black Squirrel Media Network, and all the other things we got going on there.
Yep.
Shout out to all the other shows and podcasts and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Shouts to Big Fella Pod on Twitch.
Yeah. Yep. Check us out Mondays, 9:30. You get about 10 good minutes out of me. 10 to 15 good minutes out of me.
Yeah.
I
saw the show. It was nice. I liked it.
Trying to share some good info. But yeah, check that out. Like I said, this is some quick hitters I came up with.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Yeah. So check all that out. We got some good stuff going on. Trying to think what else. Oh, gotta plug the book. Got a second book coming out, Impact of Influence, Volume 2.
Yeah.
That we're taking pre-orders now. So if you check out the social media links, mine, all that stuff is coming out. So
right
over the next month or so, we're actually gonna do the whole launch and things like that. A lot of media on that. So excited for that. And
you know what? I actually forgot. Guess who's turning 29 this week?
Who's turning 29 this week? Who is turning 29? Oh, young boy.
Oh, your boy. Oh, what's up? Oh, it's not David Tuke. Oh, it's not. Oh,
29. Man.
Wow.
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you, sir.
We'll find some way to party.
Yeah, got to.
I got some ideas. I can always get you in trouble. We'll figure it out though. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. I will probably get into trouble, but
yeah.
It comes with the birthday. It comes with the birthday.
It comes with the birthday. It does. We figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that happy birthday, bro.
I appreciate you, bro.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the last year before 30.
It's when the knees give out.
The knees, back start hurting. Start talking about back in the day, in my day. You don't understand what these young boys are saying.
Bro, I'm like that now, I feel like.
There's gonna be a lot of icy hot and urine cream.
But also, and I know that I'm probably alone on this, but I can't wait to be at the age where I'm an OG, to where I'm like, man, y'all ain't know about good music.
You don't know nothing about that.
Y'all ain't know about that. What's
You don't know
up?
nothing about that. Y'all jive turkeys.
Job turkeys.
Y'all don't know nothing
Yeah,
about that.
I'm trying to get to job turkey sucker status.
All right, it's coming. It's coming. Oh man, matter of fact, that's a whole conversation. But I'm wrapping this thing up, y'all. Till next week. We out.
Peace.
Peace.